It is I, the Dark Mercenary. I have returned for another episode of Vampyr. We are getting nearer and nearer to the end of this game. But first we have to clean up a few loose ends. Hopefully tonight we won't have any disturbances from the network. It is quite annoying having to fight this thing constantly in order to give you a continuous stream.
Return at a more convenient time. So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Sir, no civilians allowed.
See them fancy clothes? This one's a tough!
Easy does it, boys. We can deal with this vermin.
Burn, vermin!
Yes, allow me to stand here and heal, while you shoot at the wall like an idiot. Okay, I had that one coming. Let's see if the lady approves of my latest action. If you've been enjoying the show and the series so far, feel free to throw a follow my way. I would greatly appreciate it.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skal epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh, God.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth! It's locked, all right.
It's quite the combination of items that it is requesting. A noble knight, a legendary king, and what diabetics need to live. Sounds like a reasonable combination. So I betrayed Redgrave, so I'm sure that'll be a fight in order to get the blood.
Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Force the body to heal.
Better go home, sir. Bloody monster!
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
I'm sure he'll be oh so willing given the circumstances that I have put forth.
Sir, you are not welcome.
These leaflets were telling the truth.
I guess that means we're kicking in the back door. And probably about to fight a bunch of Ekons.
I'm still persona non grata in the Ascalon Club. If I want to speak with Lord Redgrave, I'll have to improvise.
Yes.
Gotcha! Ah! Ah! This is my territory! Your prey is mine now!
Fuck off.
Don't you know better? This is mine!
You put up a good fight, but you were just another fool. Alright, Redgrave. Are you next to fall to my blade? Are you cowering in your own basement? Guess not. Oh, there you
Good evening, Lord
arrived
Redgrave.
out of
What
nowhere.
are you doing here, traitor? I shall smite you for this audacity.
I'm not here to bicker, Lord Redgrave. I can put an end to this epidemic, but I need your assistance to do so.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
Stop this farce. Marshall never was your maker. I have no idea how you acquired his blood, but I need it now.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
If you manage to save this city, you'll prove yourself a veritable servant of the crown. So Godspeed, Dr. Reed. Our fate lies wholly in your hands.
That was surprisingly easy to convince him. Only cost him his loyal doorman.
Forgive you, Father. Women of all...
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening.
Goodbye.
She's been...
Yeah, he's all the way over there. And it'd be better to go to him first. Alright. Given that we're likely due for a fight at some point here,
But the poor man...
be best to rest up.
There are rumors of abductions in the West End at night. That can't... Yes, Miss...
Do you need medical?
I won't refuse.
Here is your prescription. You'll feel better soon enough.
Thank you very much, sir.
Goodbye.
Of course, Miss...
Another 50 points of health. Why not? As well as an upgraded healing spell. Convincing the old fools. Convincing the old fool seems to have been worthwhile. While he died, his district didn't suffer. Well, we're in for a fun run.
Stupid beast! Stay back, beast!
fools enjoy their brawl.
Working nearby.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
I'm cheap and
Almost there.
Crush the leech, boys! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
If McCullum really drank the blood of King Arthur, then I may have found another vital ingredient for my recipe.
There you are.
Good evening, vampire hunter.
Are you here to end me, Leech? You'll find I will not be killed easily.
Not at all, McCullum. I am here because I need you.
Really? I'm intrigued. Speak up, then.
I need the blood of a king. The blood of Arthur. I'm certain you possess it, and I must have it.
The Guard's most sacred and precious relic. Why would you... You found Marshall's memoirs. I should have destroyed that book.
I need the antidote to save this city, McCullum.
It is within me to take your words as truth. I want to, but I must know more. What precisely are your plans?
I have found the carrier, McCullum. The infection's source. It may be science or some supernatural power that's responsible for all this. But I will harness either or both to end the epidemic.
A vampire doctor. My God, you're a terrifying creature. Jonathan Emmett Reed.
Do you not understand? We wanted the same thing from the outset. A means to end this vampire epidemic.
Not enemies. Maybe that is so. Take it then. I see no other hope for this city. If this is some trick, you will be damned, Dr. Reed.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Why are you here?
The man who raised me after the brutal murder of my parents. He's buried here.
Were both your parents killed by vampires?
Yes. And yet worse. My father returned to Dublin a vampire and tore out my mother's throat.
And who was this man?
Carl Eldritch. One-time leader of Prewin. He killed my father in front of me. Helped me hunt my brother Ain after teaching me how to kill leeches.
What will the Guard of Prewin do now? Will you stop the Great Hunt?
Yes. But we shall continue to protect innocents from beasts like you. And your red-headed friend.
Like me?
I am indebted to you for sparing me at Pembroke. But this won't always be the case. I'm no coward like those St. Paul's Stowe brothers.
How long have you known Lady Ashbury? Where is she? And what will you do to her?
We saw you meeting her, so of course we investigated. She is gone. Our scouts reported she has sold some paintings and departed for an unknown destination.
Adieu, vampire hunter.
Until we meet again, blood drinker.
Surprisingly, quite easy. I was expecting more of a fight over these supposedly sacred artifacts. Oh well. We don't have to fight, we don't have to fight. Well, we can fight a little. Piss off. Jeez. You were... Just the long dash to the hospital.
Stupid beast! Killing's all you deserve. There ain't one of them. Watch yourselves. Roll back to the hell. Let's forward you!
Jonathan, my dear, I can never thank you enough.
Thank me? For what?
Come now, you know what I mean. I am... well, I'm just like you.
Have you no shame? Must I remind you of your ludicrous actions? Of the innocent men and women who died at your hands?
Shame is for mortals, Jonathan. I know it now, and you should too. We are something else. Something more.
Have you news of Geoffrey McCullum? I'm sure both of you would have quite an interesting discussion after recent events.
He left the hospital without being treated for the severe beating you gave him. We'll meet again soon enough.
Do you not think he will kill you where you stand?
Funny you should mention it. I asked him once what he would do if I were a vampire. He said he would give me an hour for old time's sake.
An hour. quite generous.
How do you feel since you changed?
Absolutely fine. Did you know I can determine the health of every patient or nurse just by looking at him? Fascinating.
Have you taken a life yet, Edgar?
Don't you think that's a private matter? I would not ask you such an indiscreet question.
Do you feel the hunger?
Yes. It's very peculiar, not like mortal hunger at all. It's like I'm never sated. Fortunately, blood is no rare commodity at Pembroke.
What will you do now that you are immortal?
Experiment, my dear colleague. I have an eternity to make scientific progress. I could be the only scientist able to undertake extreme experiments upon himself.
My God, Edgar. Did you learn nothing from your forays into folly?
I have, I swear. No more experiments on mortals. See? I said mortals. How quickly the mind adapts.
Yes. Won't be long before he's playing necromancer, god, and scientist, all jammed into one.
What kind of experiments?
Who knows? Nervous shock, brain damage, pain and recovery. There's almost no limit to what my body can now endure. I could be the next Henry Head.
Will you continue as Pembroke's administrator?
Of course. I can help more than ever. And since I'm already dead, I can't get sick.
Are you not afraid Priwen will find you? Next time, they will do more than abduct and torture you.
I remain a man of peace. If things were to go awry, I would flee rather than slice them up as you would, my friend.
Have you seen Elizabeth? Has she passed this way since you returned?
No. And I'm terrified to see her again. I really am, Jonathan. She could very well tear me to pieces for what I did.
Goodbye, Edgar. I'm certain we'll meet again.
We have to check out the old morgue.
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage.
Good old insulin. Works every time, apparently. Welcome to all the new watchers here. If any of you would feel so kind, I would greatly appreciate the follow. Just saying is all. Yes, they're hiding in here now. Must be above. Might as well collect a few ingredients while here.
I'd head back if I were you,
It's
sir.
one of us!
Crawl back to the hell. Crush the leg! Don't like that. Freeman shall prevail. Demon, back! Stop Vampyr!
Another one of these old fools slain. Wonder if the insulin's in the basement. Seems the god is doing an excellent job keeping the ghouls from getting anywhere in this building. That is, if they're not falling and becoming ghouls themselves.
Sorry, sir. No admittance.
Watch out, boy!
Dead!
Get
No
into
more
a bed.
rest for the wicked! Stop! Vampire!
Ah, drain my blood reserves.
We do the Lord's work here. Lord, walk with me.
Always good of him to Watch as they slaughter his man in front of him. Carve my way through this entire bloody morgue.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. It's locked.
Not exactly what I meant to do down here, but what the hell? When in Rome and all that jazz.
Not a safe place right now, sir. Please, sir, can't let
Trust
you
the
through.
leech, boys!
The beast must die.
Die, leech! Shit!
I shall fear no evil. Stay back, beast!
End up murdering the whole clergy the rate this is going. end up murdering everybody in this morgue till I find this bloody insulin. But still, where is it hiding? They moved in rather quickly. Oh, even better. It's the pawn scum.
There it is. Insulin.
Oh, jeez.
Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu.
Of course. Found it much earlier, just didn't realize it. Oh well. The important part is that we have it. Just any hideout will do. I doubt there's much I can do with this little of experience, but... we shall rest and make the formula. apparently the entire West End just decided to collapse. Oh, we can't apparently do it here. It actually has to be a literal hideout.
Step away, sir. Ow! I'm talking to you, you twat! You! Get back in the grave!
How dare you interfere with my hunt?
Oh, great, another vampire. Wicked timing, actually, and it caused me right to get slashed.
I'm so sorry.
Whoops. Oh well. It has been made.
The blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in the sewers.
so sorry.
I hope this feeling will disappear someday.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even
Steady, boys! We've got one of them!
Quickly cure the district while we're here.
Hello again, Mother.
Jonathan.
Do you need...
Oh,
I think you should...
I'm not sure.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Mary? Oh, my dear daughter.
But the poor man does not see.
Good evening.
Do you need...
You would say...
Don't worry.
I cannot imagine.
I may have a look at you. Good evening, Miss T.
Can I help you, Dr. Reed?
Do you need...
I'd prefer to be...
What can...
Never heard of it.
Really?
Are you a big shot or something?
Goodbye.
I won't lie.